"You're too old for me now," Marcus said like it was no big deal, as if he wasn't ending our 15-year marriage. I stood in the kitchen, gripping the counter to steady myself. He kept scrolling on his phone, not even looking at me. "My name is Olivia. I'm 38. I never thought the man I supported through medical school, the man whose loans I helped pay, the man whose dream home I helped build, would say this to me. Sophia understands me better," he added, smirking. "She's young, full of energy, 22. Remember what that was like? Well, maybe not anymore." I took a deep breath, my fingers brushing over the smooth countertop I had picked when we remodeled just 3 years ago. "When were you planning to tell me about Sophia?" He shrugged, his expensive watch, my anniversary gift to him, shining in the light. "I'm telling you now, she's moving in next week. You should start packing." "Pack?" I asked, keeping my voice calm though my heart pounded. "This is my house too, Marcus." He finally looked at me with a smug smile. "Actually, it's not. Everything is in my name, the house, the cars, even that little yoga studio you run." Did you really think I'd put a housewife's name on anything important? Housewife. The word stung. I had built my yoga studio from nothing while supporting his career. But to him, I was just someone who stayed home. "We're married, Marcus. Everything we built together." "About that," he interrupted, straightening his designer suit. "I'm not signing any divorce papers. No official divorce means no property split. Simple as that. You can leave quietly, or I can make things hard for you." I watched him walk toward his bedroom, my mind racing. What he didn't know was that 3 months ago, I found a receipt for a diamond bracelet I never got, along with a hotel booking. That same day, I met with Diana Torres, the best divorce lawyer in town. "Oh," Marcus called out, "don't bother trying to access our accounts. I already moved everything. You understand, right? Can't have you getting emotional and doing something stupid with my money." His money. I almost laughed at his arrogance. Instead, I pulled out my phone and sent a text to Diana. He finally told me, "Go ahead." That evening, I sat in the home office while Marcus packed for what he called a medical conference in Miami. We both knew Sophia would be there, probably already wearing that bracelet. "Don't touch anything while I'm gone," he warned. "The security cameras are recording. I'd hate to press charges if something goes missing." I nodded, looking at a framed photo of us in Greece 5 years ago. "How long have you been planning this, Marcus?" He thought for a moment. "Does it matter?" "You're not a bad person, Olivia. You're just not what I need anymore. Sophia is fresh, exciting. She doesn't come with all this history, like our life together was just baggage." I thought about the nights I stayed up helping him study, the vacations I skipped so he could build his career, the dreams I put on hold for him. "You're right," I said softly. "History doesn't matter when you're rewriting it." He frowned, confused by my calmness. He expected me to cry, to beg, to make a scene. "Just be gone when I get back," he sighed. "Sophia already picked new furniture. Time for a fresh start." After you left, I waited 30 minutes and made 2 calls. First, to Diana. "He's gone. How soon can we move forward?" "Everything is ready," she said. "He won't know what hit him." Second, to my brother James, a forensic accountant. "Hey sis," he answered. "Let me guess." He finally made his move. "Exactly as you predicted," I said. "What have you found?" James chuckled. "Oh, Olivia, you're going to love this. He's been creative with his finances. The IRS will be very interested." I ended the calls and walked through the house, our house, touching the walls, the furniture, the life we built. Marcus thought he was smart, keeping everything in his name, pushing me out without legal divorce. But he didn't know I had spent the last 3 months gathering everything, proof of his affairs, his secret accounts, his shady financial moves. Diana had built an unbeatable case. James had traced every penny he tried to hide. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. "Landed in Miami. Remember the cameras. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." I smiled. Those cameras. They had been recording more than he realized. "Have a great conference," I replied. Let him think I was defeated. Let him enjoy his weekend with Sophia. Because on Monday morning, everything would change. I poured myself a glass of wine, opened my laptop, and reviewed the files. 3 months of careful planning were about to pay off. Marcus thought I was a helpless housewife. He was about to learn just how wrong he was. Monday morning came with a thunderstorm, matching my mood perfectly. I sat in Diana's office, watching raindrops slide down the window as she spread documents across her desk. The cameras were a gift, really, Diana said, playing a video on her laptop. There was Marcus in his home office, telling Sophia exactly how he planned to hide money and avoid divorce. He was so focused on watching you, he forgot he was recording himself. I shook my head, remembering how proud he looked when he installed them. What time does his flight land? About an hour ago, Diana checked her watch. He should be walking into his office right as the papers are served. We included everything: videos, bank records, proof of his affairs. Let's see how he explains this to his hospital board. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Made it back safe. Where are you? The house better be empty. Before I could reply, another message popped up. What the hell is this? Why am I being served papers at work? I silenced my phone and turned back to Diana. What happens next? She pointed to highlighted sections of the documents. His financial fraud is serious. Your brother found proof that he hid money in secret accounts and lied about his income. That's not just a divorce issue, it's illegal. And the house? Diana smiled. That's the best part. Remember when he asked you to pay for renovations from your own account? That proves you have a legal claim to it. He can't just throw you out. My phone kept lighting up with messages from Marcus, each one more desperate. This is ridiculous. Call off your lawyers. You're making a huge mistake. Think about what this will do to my career. Diana smirked. You should see what's happening at his practice right now. The hospital won't like this kind of scandal. Right on cue, my brother James called. Sis, you won't believe this. Marcus just tried to access his offshore accounts. They're frozen. He's freaking out. I put the call on speaker. And guess what? James continued. That Miami trip with Sophia, he paid for it with hospital funds. Claimed it was a medical conference, but the only thing being treated was his champagne bill. Diana nodded. We need to act fast. He'll try to delete evidence once he realizes how bad this is. But don't worry, we already have everything saved. What about Sophia? I asked, thinking about his young mistress. Diana shrugged. She's in for a surprise. That bracelet, the car, the house he promised, all bought with stolen money. She might need her own lawyer. Just then, my phone rang. An unknown number. I answered. Your husband said we'd be living in luxury. Sophia snapped. Now they're saying I have to return everything. This is your fault. I laughed. No, Sophia. This is what happens when you trust a man who lies for a living. Good luck. I hung up and turned back to Diana. What's next? We wait, she said confidently. The evidence is airtight. Between the fraud, the cheating, and his hidden money, he's the one in trouble now. Want to see your settlement offer? She handed me a document listing what I would get: half of all assets, way more than Marcus claimed existed, full ownership of the house, and financial compensation for all the years I supported him. Another text from Marcus. Please, can we talk? I made a mistake. We can fix this. Diana saw me looking at my phone and shook her head. Don't answer. Let him sweat. He's realizing his perfect plan just exploded. I thought back to his words from days ago. You're too old for me now. Funny how quickly his tone had changed now that he was losing everything. James called again. Marcus's hospital privileges are suspended. Oh, and those patients he overcharged. They're coming forward. I looked outside at the stormy sky, feeling calm for the first time in weeks. Marcus thought I would cry, beg, walk away quietly. Instead, I had planned, prepared, and waited. Diana's phone rang. It was Marcus's lawyer. She put it on speaker. My client is willing to negotiate, he said, sounding exhausted. He's prepared to offer a generous settlement. Diana's voice was cold. Your client is in no position to offer anything. We're going after everything he tried to hide. He should be looking for a criminal lawyer. After hanging up, Diana turned to me. Ready for phase 2. I smiled. Marcus thought he had control. Now it was my turn. 2 weeks later, I sat in my yoga studio, looking over the final divorce papers. The morning sun filled the space I had built, the space Marcus once tried to claim as his. My phone buzzed with a message from James. You're not going to believe this. Marcus just tried to leave the country. Airport security stopped him. I wasn't surprised. In the past 2 weeks, his life had completely fallen apart. The hospital fired him after discovering his financial crimes. His reputation was ruined. Even Sophia had turned against him, suing him after realizing she might be involved in his fraud. Moments later, Diana called. The judge approved everything, she said proudly. The house is officially yours, and you're getting half of all assets, including those offshore accounts he thought we wouldn't find. How does it feel to be a millionaire? I smiled as my yoga students arrived. It feels like justice. Oh, and Olivia, Diana added, Marcus's lawyer called. He's desperate to make a deal to avoid jail. Funny how things change when you're facing prison time. After the call, I stepped into class, greeting my students. They didn't know the details of my divorce, but they had noticed the change in me, how I stood taller, how my smile was real this time. Today's focus is balance, I told them, and knowing your own strength. That afternoon, I returned home, my home now. The security cameras Marcus had installed to spy on me were gone. I had replaced them with my home. His expensive furniture, the ones Sophia planned to get rid of anyway, had been donated to a women's shelter. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was Marcus. Please, his message read, I'll sign whatever you want. Just stop the investigation. I can't go to jail. I thought about replying but decided not to. Let him feel what it was like to be powerless, to have someone else decide his future. Instead, I called James. The IRS is all over his records, my brother said. This will keep him busy for years. And Sophia. She's talking to investigators in exchange for immunity. Apparently, she knows a lot about his schemes. I ended the call and stepped outside to my back patio, the same place where Marcus once told me I was too old for him. The garden I had planted was blooming, roses climbing the trellis I had put up last spring. Everything looked brighter now. Diana called with more news. The hospital is doing a full audit of his practice. They're reaching out to his patients about possible overcharging. His medical license is at risk. He never thought it would end this way, I said. They never do, Diana replied. Men like Marcus think they can get away with anything. They forget actions have consequences. That evening, I had a small dinner with James, Diana, and a few close friends who had stood by me. We sat around the dining table, the same table where Marcus used to ignore me while texting Sophia. To new beginnings, James toasted. And to justice, Diana added with a smile. My phone buzzed one last time. Another message from Marcus. I'm sorry, I never should have underestimated you. For the first time, his words were true. He had underestimated me. He thought I was weak, too dependent, too old to fight back. He never realized that while he was planning a future with Sophia, I was quietly gathering evidence, building my case, preparing for this exact moment. I deleted his message. He didn't deserve another second of my energy. I looked around at my friends, my home, my new life. I felt nothing but gratitude. Marcus had tried to throw me away, to make me feel small. Instead, he had pushed me to reclaim my power. To knowing your worth, I said, raising my glass, and never letting anyone tell you otherwise. As we celebrated, I thought about everything I had learned. Age wasn't a weakness. It was wisdom. It was strength. While Marcus and Sophia played checkers, I played chess, and in the end, that made all the difference. Tomorrow, I would wake up in my home, teach at my studio, and continue building my life. Stronger, wiser, and happier than before. The best revenge wasn't just surviving. It was thriving.